Sheilagh, thank you so much for inviting me to your beautiful home for tea this afternoon.
Oh, well, you're very welcome. It's one for you.
Okay.
One for me.
Now, you're using loose tea.
Loose tea. And one for the pot.
Is loose tea better than tea bags?
Not necessarily. A good quality tea bag is often used quite regularly. I'm using this because I'm doing the whole ritual of the tea for you this afternoon. And I've preheated the pot, of course. And now we've got these wonderful kettles that you can just bring to the table. And I have hot water here so that it's a little too strong for you.
Well, since you started making the tea, why don't I ask you, what is the secret to making a perfect cup of tea?
The water on a rolling boil. That's absolutely, and you know, there are people like my mother who would say that the water boiled in an electric kettle is not the same as one from your stove. So the trick is have your pot hot, warmed, before you put the tea in there, then put your tea in, then put your hot water in, and let it steep there.
And I guess the quality of the water is important as well.
Oh, absolutely. And one of the things that I remember reading a long time ago, saying, use fresh water. Like, what other water would you use?
Bath water, maybe?
Maybe. So this will now just...
So how long do you have to let it steep?
2 to 5 minutes. Okay. Now, Karl, I'm using an orange pekoe tea, a black tea, that I prefer to use in the afternoon. The English, by the way, something very interesting. It was not the English that first had afternoon tea.
Really?
Known fact.
Who was it?
Some countess or other in Paris who would have a little, tea brought to her room, and then would invite friends to her room in the late afternoon. And that's where it actually started. But then, of course, the English picked up everything that was really good about the French and brought it back then into England. But that didn't start until the late 1700s. And, the ladies would have a little thinking spell, because they didn't have dinner till 8 or 9. So they'd, need to... So they're like at the trough.
Not only connoisseurs of wine, but connoisseurs of tea.
Absolutely. These people knew what they were doing. By the way, your napkin, linen, of course, must be for proper tea. Put it on the lap, and it never comes off.
Now, what do you like about the ritual of taking tea? Because I know you even send out invitations to people and invite them to your home for afternoon tea.
It's a whole event. It's just as important as any other party you'd be throwing, so you go all out. And it's a great time to have everybody together, to just have little chats and talk about this, and totally relax. Have a cup of tea. You'll be all right.
Yeah.
If you're sick, you have the tea. If you're happy, you have tea. If you have a celebration, you have tea. Everything. And in fact, tea, when it first came into England in the 1600s, was used as a remedy for absolutely everything. And tea was actually sold not in the greengrocer, but in the apothecary shop. And you'd go and you get your tea. And even like things like PG tips, PG standing for pregestive, it was good for the digestive system. So all of these things, so that's where we still get the business of tea is good for you.
Now, when you have an afternoon tea or morning tea, it's nice to have food companions to go with the tea. What would you suggest, or what's
usual?
Usual.
This afternoon now I will be serving you cucumber sandwiches. And the trick, I know you're going to want this for your website. The trick for a good cucumber sandwich is a sprinkle of salt on the cucumber when you put it on the sandwich. And of course your butter. And then some rolled asparagus sandwiches. I didn't do many of those because I really get fed up rolling bread. Then on the next tier we have warm tea biscuits or scones. And then on the next, so they would be the second one, they would be served with clotted cream. I have a clotted cream here. This is brambleberry jam, homemade jams. And so the scone then is cut, the jam is put on, then the cream. Then on top I have some homemade, that my friend Margaret gave me yesterday some homemade cookies and some strawberries. You can put fruit on it any time. But generally you do a savory kind of thing. Sometimes I do minced ham or whatever, but I thought the cucumber this afternoon. And then the scones, must have. Pot of cream, must have. And some cookie afterwards.
Okay, well, do you think that tea is steeped now?
Well, boy, if it's not, we're going to look really bad. So what I have here now, I'll just have a little look. And this is going to be quite the process. Normally I would stand up to do this.
So we have to...
And I will be mother, okay?
Okay, you can
the
be
pourer of the tea is mother. I will take your
you
cup.
have to strain the...
The cup is taken with the saucer and all. You never would pass. Then you take your tea strainer. It is placed on top of the cup. Your tea is gently turned, never swished. It's a whole etiquette thing, my dear boy. Now let's just see if it comes out. Okay.
It's good to me.
It looks good to me, too. And the straining business is working. Hello. Then one would remove this, bring it with the tray to the next. Now, for your benefit, there is lemon. There is also sugar. Cubed, one never puts loose sugar on a tea table. Okay. And milk, never cream.
1 cube.
Okay.
Would you like a cube?
No, I don't take sugar, thank you. Then you bring this back to make sure that all of the drippings drip into that container. Okay? So would you take lemon?
I think I'll take lemon.
Okay.
I'll take some lemon.
Okay.
So I would just squeeze it into my...
Well, you would actually just place it in with the fork. Yeah, just place it in.
Place it in. Okay.
And then turn it.
Oh, and it looks nice.
Without making any clinking noises on your cup. The nuns would be so proud of me. I am. Okay. There you are.
Now I'll taste it.
Now taste it.
Oh, that's delicious.
Is it really?
It's really hot.
Then I will take some milk, please.
You'll take some milk?
And one always waits until the guest has tasted their tea before. Now, you know, there's a big thing about whether or not you would put the milk in first or after. Now, everybody thinks that it's a very snooty thing to put the milk in first and then pour your tea. Doesn't even make sense because you pour your tea, even the Queen, by the way, pours her, well, she never actually pours it, somebody else pours it. She puts her milk in afterwards because how are you going to know the strength of your tea?
Good point.
Exactly. And one never does this. This is the rudest thing in the world.
The pinky?
Stick the pinky out. Oh, yeah, very rude. Very rude.
Well, Sheilagh, it's been wonderful.
Well, I hope you're going to have
a lovely home. And also, by the way, seeing your beautiful collection of teapots.
Oh.
Which is very impressive. And some of them are quite whimsical, which I particularly like.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, you're more than welcome. Help yourself to a asparagus sandwich.
I think I will, actually. They look good.